So this is our mission statement, and what we normally do is we normally recite this at the beginning of each um, general body meeting, or GBM for short. But our mission is to increase the number of culturally responsible Black engineers who excel academically, succeed professionally, and positively impact the community. And so, how we do that is through a mix of academic, professional, and community resources for our members. And some of these can include study help, networking with professionals, securing a job, and learning technical or soft skills. And I'll go over how we do that in the next few slides. So, our general body meetings are where we come together and discuss announcements, upcoming events, and feature a guest speaker. For example, a great number of GBMs have featured industry professionals / entrepreneurs from reputable companies. So, for example, let's say that we're having a general body meeting right now. We would introduce a guest speaker from like Google or Facebook or NASA or some other like big reputable company or some entrepreneur that has their own company, and they would talk about certain things such as how to navigate in the workforce, how to get a job at company X, how to study for your exams. We're basically learning from people who have already made it and who want to help out. So yeah, that's some of the value of our general body meetings. Next slide, please. So we have resources such as our conferences. So our conferences offer a ton to our members. There are workshops, like for example, how to code in Python or how to code in C++ for a specific application. There are competitions such as the elevator pitch competition, the Nesby trivia. There are prizes such as money, mentorship, leadership. There are scholarships, also for our high school students. And there's a huge career fair. So a popular competition, like I mentioned, is the elevator pitch competition, where students will pitch an idea to judges as if they were selling the next big thing. So prizes are included. Let's say you go to a conference at Nesby and you have an idea. Let's say you want to make a thermal energy generator or something like that. You present it, and if you win, you get mentorship, leadership, and you get some resources on actually producing this idea to be a real thing. And next thing you know, you could be a CEO. Next slide, please. So, for example, at the career fair, they provide opportunities for our members to put their skills to use and get internships or full-time jobs. If you don't know what an internship is, it's where you spend about 2 to 3 or more months at a company or organization, and you work as a full-time employee, and you get that experience. They treat you like a full-timer. You get money, and you basically just build up that experience, and that may end up to you working there full-time. For example, I was at the latest Nesby career fair, and I met a bunch of people from NASA, and we talked. We expressed similar interests, and it was basically a way for them. We both had the same love for Nesby. We both supported the mission. We wanted to produce more culturally responsible Black engineers. And so we had a talk. It went well, and I'm set to intern at NASA for the summer. And that could be you for any one of the companies that you want to work at, because Nesby has a big list of corporate sponsors. Nesby produces top tier talent that companies want to get their hands on. They want to hire us. They want to recruit us. So yeah, next slide, please. An example of our corporate sponsors include Google, Apple, Boeing, GE, Honeywell, Amazon, BP. Pretty much all the companies that you could think of, even startups, even everything, schools as well. Let's say you want to go to a Nesby career fair as a high school student. MIT will probably be there, Stanford, U of I, IIT, Cornell, any school you can think of. Ross, I can't pronounce the name, New Jersey Institute of Technology. So there was a bunch of opportunities no matter who you are. And next slide, please. So talking more about the high school side of things and kindergarten, pretty much K through 12, we take great pride in our pre-collegiate initiative, or PCI for short, which is tasked with empowering young minds with learning STEM. Getting youth interested in STEM is a part of our mission statement. So as you can see in this picture, we have some high schoolers and some elementary school kids working on a robotics project. So our goal is to teach you pretty much anything that will get you interested in pursuing a STEM degree in college. So there are different competitions. Let's say you're in high school. There are programs for you to learn coding, There are programs where you learn how to do design work, how to design circuits, design robots, and stuff like that, so that when you're in college already, you'll have an edge on all of your friends and stuff like that, and it'll be easier for you to get internships. Next slide, please. So, for example, our PCI programs encourage youth from K through 12 to attend college pursuing a STEM degree. And if you're unfamiliar with the term STEM, it's science, technology, engineering, and math. Certain programs include, but are not limited to, the first robotics Lego League, different science fairs where you can compete with friends and get prizes. There are a lot of scholarships for students, especially in high school. Let's say you're applying for college and you're a part of the Nesby PCI program, or you're part of Nesby Junior, there are scholarships for you to apply to, given your GPA and everything else. So you could possibly get maybe some thousands of dollars for school, making it way more easier to afford. There's a summer engineering experience for kids program, or SEEK for short. And it's pretty much our goal to expose you all to STEM. Well, we want to increase the number of culturally responsible Black engineers. And you don't have to be Black to be a part of Nesby, of course. But, that's just a part of the mission statement. Next slide, please. And I'll hand it off to Hailey for the rest of the presentation.
Okay, so now we're going to go over some personal experience from past Nesby members, or past IIT members who were a part of Nesby. So first we have Felix. He graduated in 2020 with a civil engineering degree. Then we have Laura, who graduated in 2019 with an information and technology management degree. And last, we have Stephanie, who graduated in 2019 with a chemical engineering degree. And so the first question we asked them is, in one word, describe what Nesby means to you. And Felix said family, Laura said inclusion, and Stephanie said village. And I think from their answers, you can see that with Nesby, we have created a sense of community and belonging. The next question was, how has being a part of Nesby helped you in the long run? And here's Felix's answer. And he says, being a part of Nesby has helped me in the long run through the long-lasting brotherhood I built through college. Nesby has provided a successful environment in each life category through college, friendship, academics, support, and professional and life lessons. Stephanie's answer, and I'll allow you guys to read Stephanie's answer on your own. I'll give you about 30 seconds. Okay, and lastly, we have Laura's answer. And Laura said, Nesby gave an opportunity to be a part of something bigger than myself, helped me hone the skills I needed to navigate in the professional industry. And again, from these answers, we get a sense of community and belonging, and we get to see the real value of Nesby personally, how it affected these people. If you could tell a future student something about Nesby, what would it be? Felix says, Nesby is a well-rounded organization that provides opportunities for a student in multiple areas of his or her life. It sets you up for success academically and professionally in life. Laura says, learn about the big picture goals of Nesby and give back. And lastly, Stephanie says, getting involved in Nesby can propel you to the next level in all aspects of your career as a technical professional. Nesby has a lot of opportunities where you can grow as a leader and gain skills that are transferable to the workplace. Okay, so now we have a video put together by Seth about Nesby here at IIT.
Welcome to the Illinois Institute of Technology. Located in the heart of Chicago, our Nesby experience is bound to give you the technical and social experience you've been waiting for. Our chapter allows our members to learn from engineers representing the best companies, whether they be from billion-dollar conglomerates or the next big startup. Our exceptional corporate sponsorships ensure members can receive mentorship, internship, and full-time job opportunities from the best. You'll always be surrounded by smart, friendly faces within Illinois Tech's Nesby chapter. We're a family devoted to increasing the number of culturally responsible Black engineers. So what are you waiting for? Enroll today and join our chapter.
Okay, now lastly, we have frequently asked questions. So do I have to be majoring in engineering to join Nesby in college? No, Nesby is for anyone who is majoring in a STEM-related field. And even if you aren't majoring in a STEM-related field, you can still sign up to become a member of our collegiate affiliate membership program. Do I need to be African American or Black to join Nesby? No, you don't have to be any specific race or ethnicity to be in Nesby. Anyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome. Do I have to wait until college to join Nesby? No. Nesby offers membership to kids as young as 6 years old through the Nesby Junior program. The Pre-Collegiate Initiative program is designed to stimulate interest in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields. The goal is to encourage kids in grades K through 12 to attend college and pursue technical degrees. And then how do I sign up for Nesby Junior? You can sign up for Nesby Junior by visiting the Nesby Junior website and finding Nesby Junior affiliates in your area to join. And here's a picture of one of our GBMs in our general body. And now, if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and ask them.
Be shy. That's a good question. So Pedro asked, "What companies do you guys work with?" I guess a better question is, what companies do you want to work with? We can work with any company really. An example, yeah, here's an example of it: like Google, Apple, Boeing, GE, Honeywell, Amazon, BP, Ford, Microsoft, General Motors. Nesby is Nesby's a really attractive organization to companies. Companies typically hire and work with us from all around different industries, like such as automotive, aerospace, uh, software, big tech. You could name it, energy. So the sky's the limit, really. And if a company wants to start working with Nesby, they can. So it's really up to you. There's a really big list of companies. Hopefully that answers your question. And if at the school, because there's the local level, the collegiate level, like yeah. So perfect. Yeah. So there's like two examples of this. So at IIT, we're considered collegiate, and then there's the national level, which is like all the chapters. So at the collegiate level, we probably have connections with somebody at one of these companies, and we just ask them to come present for us. Or at the national level, at a conference, a company will present, or they'll be looking to hire. So, for example, like earlier in the presentation, I got hired by NASA for the summer, but that could be like for any other company. Is Nesby exclusive to IIT? No, Nesby is a national. It's a national organization. So no matter what school you go to, and I probably should have done a better job at explaining this, but no matter what school you go to, there will likely be a Nesby chapter. So let's say you go to DePaul University, or you go to Northwestern, or you go to University of Arizona, there will likely be a National Society of Black Engineers chapter, and you get access to all of these resources regardless of the chapter you join. They might be a bit different, but at the local level, you know, it could be a bit different. But we all have same access to these companies nationally. So at the national conference, where you know it's all the Nesby chapters, you have access to Google, Apple, Boeing, Amazon. Um, so yeah, it really depends. Here in Chicago, I mean, everything's virtual right now, so we can do a lot of virtual events with companies outside of the region. Like I know Google's in Chicago, but we could do like one with Apple. Apple's primarily based in California, so because of that virtual aspect, we can definitely do that. It's a lot of opportunities everywhere. Hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, and in terms of like getting a job with Nesby, or getting a job from via Nesby, or from like you know utilizing Nesby, it's really like you know the world's your oyster. So if you want to be active in Nesby, It'd probably help. But if you don't want to be active and you want to just join for the conferences, that's fine too. As long as you have a good passion for what you do and you have good project experience, it'll be really easy to get a job at the Nesby career fairs and stuff like that. But personally, Nesby has like pretty much changed my whole outlook. I would not have gotten any of my internships if it wasn't for Nesby. I'm glad to hear it, Max. Yeah, definitely consider it. It's a really helpful organization, and I definitely owe most of my success to the mentorship and the opportunities I've gotten from here. So happy to hear that you're considering it. If anybody has any other questions, please do ask. If not, that's cool too. Is anybody, what engineering are you well, first off, are you interested in engineering for college, Pedro and Max? Or are you considering something else? Oh, perfect. What kind of engineering discipline? Like mechanical, chemical? That is great. I'm a mechanical engineering student. I like it a lot. It's really versatile. I've done internships in medical devices, military equipment, like military choppers, and I think I'm doing one on satellites with NASA this summer. It's really, really versatile. Agricultural engineering, Max? Yeah, that's really cool too. One of my friends is in agricultural engineering, and he likes it a lot. I'm gonna be honest. Uh, we do need to solve the food problem, and I think agricultural engineers are like really good at what they do with regards to that. There's a lot of problems like how can we provide more crops using less space? How can we provide crops faster? There's a lot of issues to solve. I definitely recommend taking a look at agricultural engineering as well. Really cool field. But it's nice to hear that. I'm really happy to see the next generation of engineering students like come in. Everybody seems so smart. Everybody's smarter than I was when I was in high school. Hopefully you guys get a bunch of scholarships because that would be great. As an engineering student, how was your sleep schedule? I'm gonna be honest, it varies on the semester. So right now, I'm doing a mix of undergraduate and graduate classes. Right now, my sleep schedule is pretty bad. Last semester, it was pretty good. I got sleep. I went to bed at like 10 or 11 every night. I woke up at like 8. Um, but it depends on the type of semester it is. So I'm thinking like around your junior year, it'll probably be the worst it's ever been. But then as you get to your senior year, it'll get way better. But freshman and sophomore year, it depends because you could. Yeah, the workload is pretty bad. It can be pretty bad. It depends on how you structure your classes. So if you decide to take like 3 math classes and 2 engineering classes your freshman year and no like humanities courses or no like general education requirements like history or a language class, it might get a bit too hard because too many numbers at so many like different times. Maybe Hailey can chime in on this too.
Yeah, I was resonating with what you were saying. It's the same thing. Like, it really depends on how you structure your workload. Like freshman year, I think I took like 19 credit hours, 18 credit hours, but they were like all gen eds, human, and like yeah, just gen ed and humanities. So it wasn't very bad. I got to sleep when I wanted to, and now I'm taking a lesser amount, but they are harder classes, so I'm not getting as much sleep. But honestly, I feel like it really depends on like your time management. Like you're given so much time during the day. If you can like, I think maybe work on that skill of managing your time. Like now, maybe like creating some kind of system for yourself. Like I like to make schedules for myself sometimes, or like lists for myself. It can really like take a load off because it can like when you have the stress of classes and like all these hard courses that you're taking, and then like maybe you're in some extracurricular activities, maybe you have to work, and then on top of that you're not really sleeping at night, and it just can like all build up to where you just feel like overwhelmed, and you don't want to get like that when you're already like when your coursework is already a bit overwhelming. So I would say like really focus on managing your time and structuring yourself well and being disciplined when it comes to like studying and doing work. Never try not to do things last minute. I know it's kind of like cliche advice, but it's like the best advice I could probably have been given before I started.
I definitely agree with that. Pedro asked, "How did you pay for college scholarships?" So that's so. If the question is, "How did I pay for college?" I paid through scholarships and loans. Or if the question is meant to ask, "How did I pay for college loans?" That's a problem for when I get a full-time job. No, it's okay. I understand. I have bad grammar too. Um, but if you mean how did I pay for college, I have some Nesby scholarships. I have some scholarships that I got from uh, coming into the college, and I am taking out a few loans. It really depends on how much your parents make or how much you make if you're an independent. So if you'll get a lot of financial aid if your parent. It depends on how much your parents. There's a lot that goes into it, but I'm probably not the best person to ask about FAFSA stuff. But yeah. But paying for college is a big issue sometimes. So I definitely recommend if you're interested in Nesby, applying to the Nesby scholarships. We did have one scholarship that paid like $10,000 through Honeywell. Yeah, Loyola provides financial aid. I didn't know that. Oh, with one working parent, I didn't know that. That's actually really cool. Um, yeah, so IIT is actually known for giving a bunch of financial aid, right, Hailey?
Yes, they're awesome with the financial aid. I didn't have to do anything out of pocket. Everything was like, I think I saw my 1098 tax form and it was like $50,000 worth of like loans and grants.
Oh
And
my
the
God.
rest I had to do like a Parent Plus loan. But it was still like pretty like great because I know I was gonna go to school in my hometown and I was gonna have to pay like they wanted me to take a loan of $10,000. Yeah, it's crazy because I can't even be approved for a loan. And so yeah, IIT is
Yeah,
really nice about that.
they definitely are. Pedro asked, "Did I work while I studied in college?" I'm still in college. I have okay. I was just talking about this with Hailey earlier, and I'm gonna let Hailey answer your question. But I don't work. I normally I when I'm working over the summer as an intern, I just save my money and I stretch it out as long as I can. It's really bad because I run out of money really fast. But as far as working while studying in college, I think Hailey is a better person to ask about that. And maybe you could like share a bit of insights, Hailey.
Yes. I'm working right now. I started working my sophomore year and I worked some my freshman year. I did work study, but now I don't do work study. I work as a registered behavioral technician for children with autism. And I work like 7 a week. And it can be hard to like juggle everything. I think the biggest like thing is if you're gonna work, I would say take every opportunity, like when you have a little bit of time, like because in between working, I might have like a few hours here, a few hours there, and I kind of have to switch my study routine because I like to have like large amounts of time, but sometimes that doesn't work. So it's definitely, I would say it's doable, but don't think you're gonna work like 30 to 40 hours a week and be an engineering student. I think that would be insane to try to do something. But like I think 20 hours at most is like reasonable. Especially if you can find like an on-campus job like in the library or something. I think that would be like perfect.
That was a really good question. Thank you. Yeah, Hailey, you're a superhuman. I don't know how you do it, but I'm really bad when it comes to managing my time. Like you're definitely better than I am.
Well, thank you. I'm trying. It's super hard.
But yeah, if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. Or if you want to ask me more questions, you can ask. You can, if you want an email or something like that to ask for questions about like engineering or something, let me know. I can drop my email down below if you're interested in that. But we really appreciate you coming in with the great questions and listening to us. Max asked, "Are we studying on campus right now or from home?" I live in Chicago, and Illinois Institute of Technology is in Chicago, so I do a mix of both. Do you come into campus, Hailey?
Yeah, I stay on campus actually.
Oh, okay. So yeah. I'm bad at math. Should I pursue engineering or find something else? I'm glad you asked this question. I too am bad at math, but I got better at it. See, it's not just about math. See, math is how we describe. Math is a language that's used to describe science, right? But if you know how science works, then you'll get better at math naturally. If you can tell me that if I drop this object from the top of a building, it's going to get faster as it goes down, then you'll soon be able to, like, you'll know that, like, that's just the acceleration of gravity times the mass. That's the force. But you already know, like, the acceleration is like 9.8. So you've already, like, seen an equation that uses the acceleration. So you know how fast it's going to go down. You know how long it'll take for that object to go down. So, I think math, like having a good understanding of math will come with just the passion for it. I mean, it also depends on how hard you work and how easy you learn things. And I'm not the best student either. But through time, I got better. Hopefully that answers your question. But it's not just knowing math that makes you a good engineer. Engineering is really like knowing how to solve a problem and then knowing how to find the resources to solve that problem. And when you in school, they'll make you do math by hand, but when you're working as an actual engineer, you'll be using calculators and you'll be using like MATLAB or Python or Excel to like do calculations. You won't be doing them by hand. So don't think just because you're bad at math that doesn't mean you can't be an engineer. You got a C minus on pre-calculus. That's fine. I mean, you'll just have to take it again in college, but that's perfectly understandable. I mean, we all learn differently.
I had to take pre-calculus because I didn't take calculus in high school, and then whenever it was time for me to take like you have to take like an assessment to like be pre-qualified to take calculus. I didn't pass it, so I had to take pre-calculus freshman year. And I mean, I'm okay now. Like, it's okay. Like Seth said, just depends on how quickly you learn or like your background. But I'd say like it's okay. There's nothing wrong. And then that's like taking your time. It's okay if you're not moving as quickly as like others are around you. It's like as long as you can see that you're progressing.
I know somebody who took like 6 years to complete their bachelor's, but then they got a job at Google. So I mean, it's about you and how you learn, and there will always be something waiting for you on the other side. So never give up. That's the best advice I can give to that regard. But yeah, I don't like math either. Thanks, Max. You have a great one as well. I hope you enjoy the rest of the event today.
Thanks, Max. Thanks, Pedro.
Thanks, Pedro. All right, cool.
Yay.
Yay, that was fun.